Hello and welcome to my channel J.I. Colorist, where we do adult coloring. My name is Jody and today we're going to be finishing part 3 in a color along in the book Botanicum, a special edition coloring book illustrated by Maria Trolle. We're going to be finishing off this page. It is the girl on the swing on a plum tree, and today we've got to finish the bumblebee and the little girl. So as I mentioned, this is part 3. So part 1 we did the plums, part 2 we did the leaves, and part 3 we're finishing the page. During this color along we've been using 2 color palettes from Sarah Renae Clark's Color Catalogue, and we are going to be continuing to use those 2 palettes. Let me just find them. It's going to be on screen, but we've been using palette 105 and 466. So we're going to be continuing with those 2 palettes, plus I'm going to select a couple extra colors, and that is going to be, I'm using PolyChromos Cream 102 and Light Flesh 132. So these are the extra pencils, and my other pencils I've kept out this whole time are in this little purple mattress pencil holder, squishy, nice and safe. So I will be reaching for those, and let's get started. And because we only have the 2 elements left on the page, instead of you listening to music, I'm going to do a little color and chat. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and if you want to put some answers in the comments below, that'd be awesome, or you can just listen to the answers that I give you. So let's start with the girl. Let me zoom you in a little bit. Get you centered. Great. So to start off with, I'm going to do this skin on this girl. So I'm gonna, since I already have these in my hands, I'm going to be using ivory and light flesh, and I'm just gonna lightly color all over her flesh with the ivory, and then I'm going to come in and shadow with the light flesh. She doesn't have a lot of area to do shading, so that's why I'm keeping it fairly light. Just come give it a little cheek definition. So I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope you've been enjoying this series, this color along series. Let me know in the comments if these are the type of videos you are interested in, or if you would prefer just straight tutorials or just completed book videos. I've got a few questions written down, so I'll give those a whirl as well. I started this channel in February 2022, but I've been coloring since 2016. So I've been coloring for, I would guess, about 6 years as an adult. So I wondered how long you've been coloring. And did you re-pick it up as an adult, or have you colored your whole life and never stopped it from childhood? I find coloring has been very relaxing. It's a hobby that I can do at my own pace. It's something I use oxygen 24 hours a day, so I can't do a lot of physical activity, but I do really enjoy being creative. So adult coloring has been really nice, and it's something that I can do while I'm filming. I actually use a oxygen tank that's sitting here beside me instead of my noisy concentrator. So if you're wondering how I can be so quiet with the oxygen, that's the reason. Okay, I want to do a whole lot on her. I don't normally use ivory for skin tone, but since she is so small, I wanted to keep it light. And we are sticking to a small color palette, so okay, I think that's good. So we're going to do her little cap, and I'm going to keep it light. So, and I'm going to do brown hair, and the swing will be brown, and then we're going to do the dress. So I'll think about the dress while we're doing this. I'm actually just going to take a piece of parchment and put my hand on it so that I'm not smudging anything. So let's start with, where are you located and what season are you entering? I think it's very fascinating that the coloring community is worldwide, and there's people from all over watching and participating in the channel. So I just wondered where you're located, and you can just indicate the country, not exactly where. I live in Canada, in the province of Alberta. So it is spring here, or sometimes we call it false spring because it still snows on a regular basis. So it's the May long weekend right now. So this is the weekend that typically we all start to plant our gardens and our flower beds. So that's something that we look forward to. Just lightening up the ends here before I come in with the green to reserve some highlight. So a few questions regarding coloring are, one, what's your favorite coloring medium? My favorite coloring medium is colored pencils. I do like mixed media and adding other mediums to my pages, but I am a colored pencil person. I don't do alcohol markers very much. In fact, my alcohol markers have pretty much all dried up. I had the Studio 71 series, and yeah, that wasn't a very good investment. Okay, she looks kind of cute. Let's continue on and do her hair. So I mentioned that I've been coloring for about 6 years already, and that I like colored pencils, but also wondered, do you have a favorite artist or coloring series books? And if so, what do you like? If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I've completed a number of coloring books from start to finish, so it won't be a surprise to learn that my favorite coloring book artists, are Erie and the Romantic Country series. I've finished Romantic Country Book 1, and I'm currently working to complete Book 2. I have Book 3 and have started some pages in it, but since I decided to finish Book 2, I've just been concentrating on Book 2. The pencils I'm using are Green Gold 268 and Burnt Sienna 283. My other person that I enjoy coloring her books are, of course, Joanna Basford and her books. I did really enjoy completing Ivy into Inky Butterfly, and I'm hoping that one day I'll have grandchildren that I can pass that book on as a storybook. Right now I do not have any. So by keeping this color palette small and cohesive, the whole page should just come together. I'm not going to introduce a bunch of new colors at this stage. And hair is never totally one color, so just have a few of these colors. Okay, we'll leave it there for now. If I want to come back and touch some more up, I will. Now let's decide on this is a wooden swing as far as I'm concerned, so we're going to go with just a brown. So the burnt sienna for the swing supports. The background on this page, I used Color Your World. So Lori introduced us to something called base paste, and it's pastel melted down with some mineral oil, linseed oil, and wax. And I used two colors on the background. Created my base paste using Crayola pastels, so not super pigmented, but I had them here and I just wanted to use up what I had at home. So I used purple and blue, a couple of shades of blue to do the background. And so you put it on and then you rub it off or rub it in with a piece of tissue. Let's see. Going to just blend that in with my empty Copic marker with Gamsol in it. The Gamsol just liquefies the binder and allows the pigment to seep into the page without damaging the tooth of the paper. So, okay. I'm going to put some lighter color here. And underneath it's definitely going to be darker. Okay, she's looking cute. Okay, now for her dress. If we look at the page and the colors that we have on it, just show you the whole page. We've got a lot of purple, yellow, green. So I definitely don't want her dress to be green. I don't want her fading into the background. I think that the blues here that I have are too similar to the background that her dress would fade into the background. So I don't, not gonna choose those. I might go with yellow. And this is quite a bright yellow. It's cadmium yellow lemon 205. So I might tone it down with the cream. And then for deeper shadows, I'll pull in the green gold 268, because green gold is actually quite a yellow undertone to it. So let's go with that. So I think I'm going to start with cream, and we'll add the yellow on top. Because we do want her to be seen in the trees here. When I was first looking at this page, I was like, are those nectarines? Are those plums? Are those some kind of berry I'm not familiar with? So I looked on okay, welcome back. I was happily filming and chatting along with you all and looked at the camera, and the camera had stopped due to memory issues. So I've cleared some memory space and I'm back. So I was in the middle of a discussion about the page and looking things up on Google to get reference photos when I last filmed. So I've completed the dress, and I used, as I have mentioned, I underbased, or first layer was cream, and then I did a layer of cadmium yellow lemon 205 on top of the cream. And then for the darker areas and where the folds of the fabric are and where there would be shadow, I used green gold 268. So I did not use a blender Gamsol on this. I just used the actual colors just to do the shading itself. And so yeah, so the dress is done, and I think she's looking pretty cute. So and I think we'll move on to the bee. So I'm going to move the page. I'll shift it up. There we go. So there's the bee. See if I can zoom you in a bit more. Oh, that's as far as she goes. So for the bee, again, I'm not going to be adding any additional colors than the colors I already have. So luckily, we did have, from the first palette, we had black, and that was actually the palette for the leaves. That was palette number 2. And I didn't use the black on any of the leaves. I wasn't really sure, I didn't feel we needed it. So I am going to use the black, and I'm also going to use the green gold and the cadmium yellow. So we're going to do, let's see, I want black, yellow, black, yellow, black. Okay, so I'm just going to start here. So as I was asking questions, which did not get filmed, I'll re-ask them again here. So we talked about, I wondered what your favorite coloring medium was, and I mentioned that mine is colored pencil. And I asked, do you have a favorite artist or book series in adult coloring? And I mentioned that I am a fan of Erie's works, especially her Romantic Country series. Those are the books I started with, and also I enjoy Joanna Basford's work. So I have most of her books. And also wondered, where do you color? So I have a home office that we just redid here, and it's my office / art room. So I color there when I'm at home. I don't color anywhere else in the house, but I know other people do color all over, so and I find that interesting. So where's your favorite place to color? Okay, we're gonna go with the green gold first for the yellow. I'm going to use glossy accents on his little eyeballs so that they kind of stand out a bit. So I'm also going to add a little bit of the yellow lemon on top just to brighten that up a little bit. Okay. So that was pretty quick and pretty easy. That's why we're doing this on a talking video. Okay, now for her wings, I'm going to use my lightest blue, and I'm also going to use cream, and I'm going to use the flesh color because that's the closest I have to a pink. So we're just gonna do some little bit of each. Just gonna put a bit of color on the wings, and then I'm gonna put some, I'm not sure if I'm going to do stickles or some Windsor Newton Iridescent medium on top of them, so that they are sparkly. Might do the iridescent medium and also a silver Signo gel pen. Okay, so we just, because their wings are transparent, so they should be picking up colors from their surrounding area. So that's kind of why I'm using some of the colors I'm using, and they just look pretty. Okay, so I'm going to grab a gel pen. And this is my favorite gel pen. It's the broad tip silver Sakura Mitsubishi Signo. So Uniball Signo. And I'm just gonna outline the wings. So I'm just gonna draw right over top of the black outline. And that'll make his wings transparent. So I hope you've enjoyed this color along. If there's I look forward to seeing some of your answers in the comments below. If this is the type of video you like, that's feedback would be awesome. And then I know what kind of videos my viewers would like to see. So do you like more talking in videos? Do you like videos that just have music? Okay. And we're going to do some glossy accents for the eyes, and then I'll pan out and show you the whole page. Okay. Doesn't take much when your eyeballs are that small. To keep my glossy accents nozzle, I've actually been putting a pin in the end because I had to snip it down a bit because it was kept getting clogged. Okay, I'm going to zoom you back out and I'll show you what the whole page is looking like. I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, the gel pen, and then I'll add the Windsor Newton Iridescent medium on before I sign out. So this is how the whole page is looking. So I think she turns out good. She's sitting in the tree, so she blends in nicely with the whole background, but also stands out on her own. Okay. Okay, the gel pen is done. So this is Windsor Newton Iridescent Medium, and it's, you just shake it up. It's for watercolors. It is a watercolor itself. And all I do is, in fact, there's enough just in the cap after you shake it up. So I'm just going to take a detailed small paintbrush and I'm going to paint right over top of those wings. Now the nice thing about this is you can still see the colors underneath, but it's shiny. And B, Stickles leaves bumps on the page, so what happens is I do already have the page on the other side done, so I wouldn't have mind putting Stickles on this page. However, it does cause, because I'm leaving this book bound, so it's a hardbound book, so I'm not taking the pages out to color. So what happens is bumps show up 3, 4, 5 pages later. You still get that impression. So I try and use Stickles less in those type of books. So the iridescent medium is shiny. So I hope, zoom you back out. There you go. So I hope this video has been educational and interesting and entertaining. And I just want to thank you for coming along on this color along. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thank you very much.